Ladies and gentlemen, this is a light welterweight contest of 6 3-minute rounds. Introducing you firstly, in the red corner, wearing white trunks and red trim. He fights out of Bratislava in Slovakia and weighs in at 9 stone, 11 pounds and 8 ounces. Tonight he enters the ring to engage in his 25th contest. Please welcome Ivan Godor. And his opponent across the ring in the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with yellow trim. He fights out of Manchester and weighs in at 10 stone, 6 pounds. He enters the ring with an undefeated 14-win career. 8 of those 14 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome Karl, please. Your timekeeper for this bout is Mr. Gary Grennan. Your referee at the bell is Mr. John Latham. Boxers, please.
Well, as you might expect from above, obey the instructions at all times. When I tell you break, you both break clean. Defend yourselves at all times and best of luck to you both. Touch gloves. Touch gloves.
Seconds up, no more.
Karl Place in the black with yellow trim, the 23-year-old from Manchester, one of those British boxers that you get the sense over the next 12 to 18 months could really be going places. Unbeaten, 14 fights in, looked pretty good in those fights as well. Has lots of variety to his work, has an eliminator for the British title lined up for next month. And he tunes up here against Ivan Godor of Bratislava, whom he outweighs by around 8 pounds as well. So the bigger man in every sense. But Godor, from the early look of him, has certainly come to give it a go.
Yeah, well, Karl Place certainly getting himself noticed these days. Couple of good wins there, last couple of fights. So just moving himself into title contention. Maybe a little bit sooner than I expected them to be talking about the eliminators with him, but certainly not too much wrong in what he does. Sets himself up well, good speed, good power, good variety of punches, and this should be just a tool sharpener for him, but we can think that Karl Place can't afford to get into the ring with that attitude.
Certainly can't. Last time we saw him back in June, he looked quite handy outpointing Michael Grant, who is no mug. Another one of those learning experiences for him. And here he is against an opponent he won't know an awful lot about. The record isn't great from Godor, statistically, but he's had 5 losses inside the distance, but 3 of them came very early in his career, so that would suggest there's some toughness and durability there, but trying to take on someone like Karl Place and giving away 8 or 9 pounds, that's an awful ask.
Well, Place has certainly started sensibly, just trying to make use of the jab. He does have an excellent jab, not in too much of a hurry to look for an early night here, so going about the job properly. Yep, switching to the body there. Godor looking to grab hold up close. I think he felt that one.
Yeah, really dug that right hand in after a couple of body shots were blocked. Nice little counter as well. Quick hands, Karl Place. A lot of movement, a lot of upper body movement. Keeps the legs going as well. A real busy boxer.
He's picking his times to throw the punches nicely there, just thinking his way around. There's that little feint before he goes to work. Already kind of signs of desperation in the right hands that Godor's throwing.
Real delivery with those punches of Place. Not completely accurate at the moment, although that's a bit better, that combination getting through. But definitely just to sharpen up the accuracy of his work a little bit.
Well, to his credit, Godor's giving it a go. He's letting punches go. He's not looking to spoil. So he's giving away weight, struggling with his speed, but he gave it his best shot in the opening round, which obviously went to Place.
When you're jabbing, he's like just pushing his front hand out with you, so I want you to put your right up round the side. Yeah. But don't just look for it, just throw it with speed. Don't be loading it up. Yeah. And after you land in a clean shot, like your left up's what a been good shot, you've just stood up. Yeah. So now when you're landing with a clean shot, I want the second phase. Yeah.
Yeah, he made good use of the jab in the opening round. Placed it. That's what you want against an opponent you don't know too much about. You don't just look down through the record and think this is going to be an easy night. And that's the body shot that took a little bit out of Godor and had him clinging on to get his breath back.
10 seconds, corners. Seconds out. Round 2.
Round 2 then of this scheduled 6-rounder. Karl Place, the taller man from Manchester, against Ivan Godor from Bratislava, Slovakia. A tune-up fight for Karl Place, just to keep warm, keep busy, as he starts plotting a move for a possible British title fight. Right hand getting through. Oh, and a right hand getting through from Godor as well. That's the best punch he's thrown.
He's trying to look a little bit business-like here at the beginning of this round. Godor trying to go on the front foot, but that jab, so difficult to deal with. Accurate from Place.
Yeah, very nice. Really solid left jab there. Not so clever with the big right cross that telegraphed afterwards. Godor saw that coming, was able to get inside and hold, buy himself some time. To see if Pace steps up the tempo a little bit in this second round. Now he's got the measure of his man.
Just wants to up the work rate a little bit now. The high guard now coming in. Godor beginning to look more like a survivor now. So you want to be throwing 3 and 4 punches, not the single shots which are going to be blocked. So just a little bit busier from Place, I think.
He's a hurtful puncher, isn't he, Karl Place? You see those left jabs snapping through and really landing. There was that right to the body that you mentioned in the first round as well. When Karl Place lands cleanly, you feel it.
Yep, he snaps his punches out. He's setting himself more on his feet, Place. He's not fidgeting around the way he was doing in the opening round. So maybe he's looking for opportunities for big punches, but it's too early for that. Really, he wants to be putting punches together. That's more like it. Just raise the overall work rate.
Not an awful lot being thrown by Godor that's getting through at the moment. Finding it hard to penetrate the guard of Karl Place. And when he does throw, especially those left jabs, he's open to the right hand over the top. And the left of the body, that got through as well. And one of those tough jabs that Godor keeps on trundling forward. He's not looking for anywhere to hide in there. That was a push, a big push. And John Latham just saying, right, let's cool it down a little bit.
Place is backing off there, giving himself a little shake, thinking it out again. Maybe he's realising he's been caught with some jabs that shouldn't be landing. So really he should be taking charge a little bit more. He's maybe just giving Godor a little bit too much leeway, and he's coming forward landing that jab of his own. Maybe get him under control a little bit more.
Well, Place is really snapping those jabs through and having an awful lot more success than his opponent. That is one heck of a weapon.
Yep, everything's fine as far as Place is concerned. He don't want to give a visitor confidence that he doesn't need to have. So I just feel the time is right now. A couple of rounds in the bank as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure the referee agrees. So just raise the tempo and just impose himself a little bit more on Godor.
As ever, he's brought some fans up with him. The M61. I don't think Ivan Godor's got many fans that have made the trip from Bratislava. He's a man on his own in here tonight.
Seconds out, round 3.
But Ivan Godor, the underdog in the white shorts with the red trim, certainly coming to give it a go. One of those guys who comes in here with the reputation and the sense of really nothing to lose, and he might just give Place a bit of a workout. But Place, you just get the sense, as you said earlier, Jim, starting to pick up the tempo now, landing more regularly, and you just get the feeling he's going to start to unwind and wear this man down.
Yeah, that's all that's required. Keeping in mind, maybe part of his mind is on the eliminator later down the line. So maybe he's quite pleased to let this go a couple of rounds, but that's a nice little right hand he's just picked there. But although, even if he is looking upon this as a warm-up, you want to get these fights over with if you can, because clashes of heads, whatever injury, can scupper the future plans. So if he can get this fellow at least under control, he should be doing it a bit now.
Some toughness about Godor, though. We mentioned this earlier. He doesn't get stopped a lot these days. He travels all over the place to get fights. And as much as Karl Place has landed, especially with those jabs, as we were looking at, and the body shots earlier, there's nothing really that's troubled the man from Bratislava too much yet.
And the problem for Place, he's been trying to counter-punch part of the way, but when Godor misses, he moves right up close and grabs hold, and doesn't allow the counters to come back. So I think Place should be leading off, mainly. Just forget about the counter-punching, take charge, lead off, and put punches together a little bit more. See, he's waiting for the jab here, Place, when I think maybe he should be setting up his own attack.
Godor this round is doing a pretty good job of swaying away from those Place punches as well, and they're not landing. It's not a round that you necessarily say Godor is winning by any means, but it's certainly not the move that we were expecting from Karl Place.
Well, Godor knows what he's doing. He knows how to nullify up close. So, I mean, Place trying to counter punch, which is inviting Godor to get close, then he's not getting the chance because he's been spoiled. So really, again, I feel he should be making the first move, get this fellow on the end of the long punches.
Throw a few feints in there as well, because when he is throwing those long punches, Godor's seeing them coming at the moment.
I think Place himself realises he's not looking as good as he would like to do. This fella's proving to be stubborn and awkward.
Yeah, Place is winning this fight, there's no question about that, and it's a good workout for him against a tricky and a durable opponent. I have to give him that credit, but it's not vintage stuff, this, from Karl Place.
Feeling okay? Yeah, good. A few deep breaths because we want to put it on him now, yeah? It's opening up now, his gap's opening now, yeah? Get over off that backhand, put it in here, yeah? When you're stepping back, don't keep going into your shell sometimes. Sometimes step back with your feet and see if you can counter him, because we're not getting no counters going backwards.
Nice deep breath, pal. Come on, Nick.
So instead of keep tucking in, sometimes tuck in, sometimes step the feet, yeah?
Okay.
Want to put it on him now.
Push big in his car. Good in.
Seconds out, round 4.
Round 4 of a scheduled 6-rounder. It's gone further than a lot of ringside experts would have thought when they took their first look at Ivan Godor, who sort of shambled in with the knee protections on and all the rest of it, and he's a good half a stone or more lighter than Karl Place, but he's giving it a bit of a go here, and maybe that's why Place's cornermen were saying, right, let's step it up a little bit here in this 4th round, because that 3rd left a little bit to be desired.
Yeah, well, Place does have all the physical advantages, the height, the reach and the weight. So why is he not using them to the full? Maybe he'll start doing that. I've called for him to raise the pace a little bit, get this fellow under control. He's trying to do that now, I think.
Yeah, definitely. He's raised it here. He's come out with some intent and more variety with his work as well. There's a couple of shots gone to the solar plexus. You heard his cornermen perhaps in the round there saying there's gaps starting to open up there, and Karl Place is starting to find, and that was a good long left that just landed there.
Yeah, that knocked Godor onto his heels, but still trying to come forward, trying to get his own punches off. Full credit to him, he's earning his money.
Yeah, not much venom behind Godor's punches. Managed to land a right uppercut there on Place, and there's just nothing behind it at all.
But he shouldn't be able to walk straight up to Place like this.
Went in with his head there as well, and that. And John Latham having a word just about the head there, but that goes back to what you were saying. You don't want these fellas hanging around with you because there is a risk of getting an injury.
Exactly, you can't think about the fight down the road, you have to deal with business tonight. And I'm not saying he could have got this fella out of there by now, but he could have had him on his heels, he could have had him pinned back, using all the advantage we've spoken about, instead of allowing him to be a pest as he has been for 3.5 rounds.
And not giving any indication yet that he's ready to go somewhere else for the night. They starting to unload with some right hands here in the last minute of this 4th round. And again, a couple of those little powder puff right hands from Goddard get through. So Place must know that he doesn't have to worry about this fella's power.
The only thing that worries me about Place tonight, we've seen him box several times in the past and been impressed, but he's taking punches I don't think he has to take. I don't know if that is down to the attitude, if he's looked at this fella's record and he's not really, you know, his mind's elsewhere a little bit, but he's taking some silly punches, which is not what we expect from him.
Jim, is there an element of he can't hurt me in there with Karl Place then?
There could be that, but he's not taking the punches because he's gone gung-ho himself looking for the stoppage. I mean, sometimes he's just standing thinking what he's about to do, then he gets caught with a punch that I don't feel should be landing. I mean, he's winning clearly, no problem with that, and it's good he's going to get some rounds behind him. But not the best I've seen him.
Yeah, looks very happy with his work in there, doesn't he, Karl Place? Just
if you're working with an
extended work, sparring session for him, really.
Yeah. Look at the different shot. Yeah, you just need a little bit.
Yeah, the corner a little bit happier, you know, he busied up a little bit, certainly in the first couple of minutes, but then maybe come off the pace in the last minute or so. But there's that jab, I mean, tremendous weapon. That jab could be keeping this fellow at arm's length for the rest of the night.
Yeah, the stats tell their own story. Place a mile ahead. But for all those punches that have landed, all 61 of them, Goddard soaked them up.
Seconds out, round 5.
Well, appearances can be deceptive, especially in this game, but you don't get the sense of Ivan Goddard of Bratislava in the white trunks here being a man ready to fold up the tent and go home.
No, he's tried to come forward at every opportunity. He's never been troubled with Place's power, that's for sure. And I used the word earlier, he's just a little bit of a pest at times. And there's a right-hand lead because Place is thinking too much about what he's about to do. Actually, nothing wrong with an important fight coming up. This is just a little reminder there's still a lot of work to be done. And the concentration maybe be a slight problem for Place tonight. Maybe just reckons this was going to be easier than it's turned out to be. That's better.
Yeah, the tempo certainly picked up. This fella knows how to survive. Knows every trick, doesn't he? Good uppercut gets through from Place. Following up from the left of the body. Look at the guard of the man from Bratislava. He really does tuck up.
But it's a different fight altogether when Place pushes him back. It's when he comes forward, he's a nuisance. Get him onto his heels, then you can get some leverage into the punches. That was a lovely uppercut from Place. Much better.
Now he's taking his foot off the gas again. Moment with the jabs, and that's allowing Goddard to just buy time and regroup and then hold again and stay clear of trouble. Oh, those are tired looking big howitzer right hands that are coming through from Goddard. 2 of them, and there's another one.
And this is when the chances of a head clash, you know, become even greater because he's all over the place, Gordon. Now he's lunging in with the punches. So this is where you have to be careful, get the concentration, don't allow the heads to come together. What a disaster that would be for Place.
be critical of Karl Place, you'd say he outweighed his man on the scales yesterday by 8.5 pounds, so he may be even a little bit heavier now. Surely, with the power that we've talked about with Karl Place, a man who's got a lot of stoppages to his record, he should have got this fella out of here.
But there haven't been too many punches taken cleanly on the chin by Godor, and that's probably the reason he's still there. He's partly blocking a lot of the punches, he's catching them high. The uppercut was good, but we're not seeing enough of those.
Another one for Karl Place. No great concerns for him.
Mám dost dobrý hlas, ale bohužel. Koľko? No ešte 2 kola. Ešte oporústa.
Well, he looks like he can go all night, this fella. He's never sat down. He rests his right leg on one of the ropes.
Yeah, last one.
Nobody seems to be too bothered about anything. He's a tough old campaigner, no question.
Yeah, I think he was just making sure they hadn't stuck another couple of rounds on. That's probably happened to him in his travels, just making sure this is the last round coming up. But there's a tiredness now about the way, his movements and the punches he's throwing. He doesn't have an awful lot left. Probably enough to get himself through this round. But I think Place just took a little bit too long to get really in control of this fellow, to get him out of there. I think now we can expect Godor to get through the 6 rounds. And it's, as we said, a tool sharpener for Karl Place.
Yeah, he's never been bothered, Karl Place. And the criticism you're hearing is really hypercritical stuff, because Ivan Godor has certainly come and earned his money tonight, as you said earlier, Jim, and the record doesn't lie. Only 5 stoppages, and 3 of them came really early in his career. This is a tough little cookie. And he knows all the tricks.
Yeah, well, he's just looking to survive now. Good left hook from Place, but again, partly blocked. Just not finding the target as cleanly as he would have liked. You've got to give Godor a lot of credit for that.
It's all about learning lessons, though, on the way up, isn't it, Jim? You never just want it too easy, that fellas that fold up on the first attack. You get the feeling that Place is going to learn some lessons from this one as well.
Yeah, well, with an eliminator coming up, for me it's a little reminder that you have to give this game everything, especially your concentration. And maybe once or twice little lapses of concentration. He's shaking his head over towards the corner there, Place. He knows this is a little bit scrappy, not looking as good as he's used to looking.
And it's perhaps not the step forward we were expecting after that effort against Michael Grant in June. And that extra weight that he's carrying, it goes back to, again, preparation. Obviously, coming in a couple of pounds heavier than he normally does. At a lighter weight, he'd be tuned up sharper and crispy, you would think.
Yeah, and it wouldn't surprise me if Godor's made a few up-and-coming prospects look less than spectacular in his time. He's good at that. He knows what he's doing. Got a good pro, and he's played his part tonight.
Place just grits his teeth and comes for one last assault, but I think the reality of the situation isn't lost on him. He knows that this fella's going to go all the way. It would always be interesting to hear the reaction from the boxer after a fight like this. Are they happy with what they've done? Did it go according to plan, or is there some frustration there? Because it's not a vintage night. This one isn't going to be on his highlight reel.
No, but it's probably served a purpose, and he certainly, Place has got better as the fight's gone on, which is pretty important. He didn't lose interest and start doing silly things out of frustration. His work has improved, so that augurs well for the future.
And a pat on the back for Ivan Godor of Bratislava as well, who went the distance and was rarely wobbled, but he knew he hadn't done enough to win it. Karl Place had done enough, more than enough. It's another win. He improves to 15-0 and tunes up for that British title eliminator with those stats to to carry him forward. Landed a lot of punches, but, and this is the little question that you've got to ask yourself, how come he never really wobbled, this fella? Is that down to Ivan Godor and his toughness? Or did Karl Place maybe not quite bring his A game tonight? Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's a win for him, and he stays unbeaten and he stays close to a British title challenge.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds, your referee John Laven scores the contest 60 points to 54 in favour of your winner and still undefeated, Karl, the babyface assassin, Place.